Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we got to look at the Minotaur for you. I got Belfast, Von Essen, and Yamamoto. Dimitri Dewey, aka Von Essen, he gives you improved penetration angles on your AP shells. Yamamoto maintains the ability for the shells to penetrate at distance. So that's kind of the best profile for inspirations for any AP centric cruisers. Of course, these British light cruisers, that's all we got, AP shells. So maximizing those potential. That'll help you out on this, at least in my opinion. And if you don't have the Belfast commander, you can use Yamamoto. Of course, these Azure Lane commanders are coming back this update. And if you do like the British light cruisers, you might want to potentially at least consider getting this Belfast character. It's a pretty good build. But Fraser will work just as well. So anyway, Northern Waters domination mode. We're on the A-cap side here. And this is going to be a pretty good game in the Minotaur. We're going to be getting a nice high score. Good team here. We're going to have 5 players on our team over 2,000 XP at the end. That's a good sign when you got a lot of guys in your team scoring well. That means they're playing the objectives, playing the win. That means you're on a team that's probably going to win the game. But towards the end, we're going to see something kind of curious that's going to be kind of instructive. So stay tuned for that. The ending's kind of interesting. But anyway, we're kind of moving into these islands on A here. Now, we got a battleship, we got another cruiser, I think it's Alaska over here. We got 1 destroyer per side who's playing kind of the B area. So, generally, we want to be supporting our destroyers as all the other classes of ships, cruisers, battleships, carriers even. That's what we're here to do. Counter the enemy destroyers, protect our own, and that's what we're going to try and do here. We can't, of course, get onto A, try and cap that with a Minotaur. We'll be dead in about 2 seconds. That's not going to work. So, we got the option to use this island cover here, and we have the Ingenious perk. Now, that's the one that's by the spotted icon. It's saying 1 ship's targeting us, 2 ships targeting us. That's valuable information. Okay, we do pop the smoke here once we see ships are looking at us, trying to cause us harm. We're especially worried about this Yamamoto, and you can see we're laying down the damage on him. Now we got these silver showers, not quite as sticky or as nasty as the golden showers. Not going to get fires, but you still don't want to be getting these things splashing in your eye. So the Yamamoto does begin to angle towards us. That's going to reduce our damage. We do throw the torps down, why not? We'll see what happens. Not really expecting to hit him necessarily, but we're throwing the torps down there in a zoning fashion. We do note he's shooting at us. Now we're not spotted. But anytime a player thinks, okay, I'm going to try and aim at a ship who's not spotted and fire into the cloud, that's usually a more experienced player, so we do take note of that. Alright, so always be kind of reading what your opponent's doing, try and gauge whether, how big of a threat they actually are to you. Trying to figure out their experience level based on what they're doing is a part of that. Now he begins to show us a little bit more broadside here, fires at us again, so I think he's actually trying to get the back gun potentially on us here. Once again, he doesn't hit us, luckily. But now we are radared, and Yamamoto's back gun is in position to fire, and fire he does. So there's the shot there. He's going down, and we're going to try and do what we can do here, but boom! Damn, we lose about 40% of our health in that shot, and we're lucky it wasn't the full salvo. Otherwise, that could have been game over. Minotaur, one of the juicier ships in the game to shoot at. So anytime you got an enemy Minotaur spotted, of course, you want to be blasting them. See if you can get them off the board quickly, because you can see how quickly we can lay down the pain on the enemy. Okay, it was 66,000 damage, and it was just a quick sequence of shots, but the damage does pile up. So Bismarck, we got a shot here. We're keeping an eye on the cap on A. We do have a red ship moving in there. Once again, we don't want to be too aggressive countering that, but that is our main responsibility. We spawn north of A, of course, we're responsible for that cap, so we do need to keep an eye on what's going on there. Red did manage to get B. Okay, we did have a destroyer who's, I think, yet to venture into the cap for some reason. He seems to be reticent or ignorant, either in his willingness to play the role or even being aware of what he's trying to do. There's a shot coming in there, so we do disengage. Got a Cleveland back there, and an enemy Alaska who's angled in. Now we're going to try and park here to utilize this island. We're a little bit close. We're going to just keep firing. Sometimes half the salvo will get over. Sometimes it'll get blocked. Doesn't really matter. As we inch forward here, now we're going to be getting some damage. And he's backing up. He's going forward, so we're trying to keep an eye on him. Of course, we can always switch to the torpedo indicator for trying to judge his speed if he's juking, see if he's backing up or whatever. You can pull up the indicator, see what the distance to the target for the torps to travel. If it's longer than the actual distance, he's backing up or moving away. If the distance is shorter, he's moving towards you. Nice shot from the Alaska there. Now we smell some blood in the water here. If we can get the Cleveland off the board, then we can start thinking about getting that Alaska quickly and then get the cap. Because, yes, we're up in ships, but note we're barely up in score, and that lead is going down. We're attempting to get C, but they're not having much success over there. Red's doing a good job defending that base. So, time is of the essence, of course. We don't want to let the score get out of hand, if at all possible. If you can see the caps, of course, then you're forced to play to sink all the ships, and that's a lower probability than trying to win by capturing the bases and sinking all the ships. You want to be pursuing both strategies simultaneously. Bismarck moving in here. We're not currently targeted, but now we're looking at A, saying, okay, looks like we've got a pretty good shot at getting this cap under control. And so we're going to put this big island between us and the Bismarck. He's got a Brandenburg behind him. Now you can tell by the title of the video, the Brandenburg is going to come up later as the match goes on. Something curious about him. But we're going to keep moving in here, and we're noticing on the map, okay, where's our blue ring? How far can we get forward here without getting spotted? If we got those guys inside the blue ring, then once you come around the island, we'll get spotted, we'll get killed. Not going to work. We do have a smoke, so we can potentially get into a position here, capture the base, and put down some damage as well. But we'd like to hold on to the smoke until it's necessary. If we can get some free shots or even just capture this base without shooting, then we'd prefer to do that. Fletcher going down. He's quite low here. One destroyer per side, of course, so the Fletcher's the most important piece on the enemy game, or on the enemy team. The destroyers, of course, are scoring the points. And once he's dead, as he is now they're going to have a hard time capturing any new bases. So, if we can get this Bismarck off of B here, we're in the process of getting A. Looks like they did finally win the fight on... Well, no, he's still got some challenge to the C cap, so that one's still under contest. But as we capture this base here and then hopefully clear the area in B so our Fletcher can feel safe getting that cap, then we should feel confident that the game will be won. We're up a couple of ships here, 2-3 ships, so that's a good thing. Looks like 2 ships at the moment. But once again, they're the ones who are actually scoring the points in the background. So if they sink a couple ships quickly, that score can change quite dramatically and rapidly. So don't be ignoring the caps. We did get that under control here. Bismarck, once again, pointing in. And if you got a Minotaur who's harassing you, you can note the difference between when these ships are angled at us, when they're pointing at us, and when they go broadside. If they're pointing at us, okay, we're getting 500 per salvo, 1,000, 1,500, whatever it is. The minute they go broadside, well, we won't be able to demonstrate it there, but you'll see in the Brandenburg in a moment. That's when the big juicy damage is occurring. So if the Minotaur is attacking you, you got to defend yourself. You got to be angling properly, or the damage piles up quite rapidly. Once again, we're in the smoke. Looks like he was trying to blind for us. Maybe it was the Alaska he was taking a shot. I can't be sure. And there's the enemy Minotaur. Now he's low. And as we've been demonstrating this game that's capable of pumping a lot of damage, we want to remove those guns, okay? Now it looks like the teams were doing a good job trying to shoot him earlier, but he still lives, and we want to remove that threat whenever possible. He does a good job, again, angling. He's pointing right at us, so he's going to be minimizing the damage from us. But due to the fact that we're spread out across the map here, look at the distance between all these blue ships. They're spread out pretty much evenly. Well, if he angles towards us, someone on the team on the other side of the map should have access to the broadside. So that's why you want to space out. If you're clumped up into those big juicy black holes, everybody's shooting at them angled, and the damage output goes way down. Brandenburg briefly spotted here. Now we're assuming he's going to want to move an A bolt to kill the 2 cruisers that are over here. That's 85 points per cruiser, so that'll get him right back into the game. And he needs to get this cap, because you can see blue is now taking control of the other cap. So Brandenburg, kind of a Hail Mary play here. He's got 1 teammate left, but he needs to first step, clear this side, and get the cap. So we got those torps preemptively down there, and we'll see if he can hit them. Alaska almost causes problems there, a little bit close for comfort, but we managed to avoid him. Want to have the option to disengage, right? We're looking at the situation. Okay, if we die here, the game's probably not going to be over just due to that fact. But by utilizing this island, by having the option to pull forward and kind of go around the island, keep ourselves protected that way, that's just giving us an out. Okay, we always want to have an escape plan whenever we're in these dangerous situations like this. And here comes the Brandenburg, and watch the damage pile up. You could be seeing here, there's a 5,000. We're going to be seeing anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 per salvo. And once again, this is the Minotaur attacking a broadside. If he's angled, damage goes down quite a bit. So he's bleeding rapidly here. And we're going to talk about saturation, because we're going to see it in action here. There's 5 pieces of a boat in terms of the health pool. There's the citadel, the casemate, the nose, the tail, as I call them, fore and aft, whatever you want to call them, and the superstructure. And those each have a possible pool of HP. Now, if you drain those sections of HP like this, then we're going to see situations like this where there's no more HP in those sections to hit. I think the only spot we can damage this thing at this point in time, you can see the tail of the ship still has the fresh coat of paint on there. That means there's still HP there. When it gets blackened like this, eventually it means, well, first it means the HP is going down in that section, and then eventually gone. So, I mean, there's a chance this is a bug right here, but I believe it's just a completely saturated Brandenburg who's got like 3 health. And despite the Alaska and the Minotaur wailing away at this guy, he's unsinkable. He's not unsinkable due to will to rebuild. Alright, he's not exploiting broken game mechanics that for some reason are still in the game, despite being a nuisance for many years now. But, you know, he's just kind of getting lucky. Should be aiming for the tail here, but I kind of wanted to demonstrate it since I kind of figured at that point this might be a video anyway. So that's a look at the Minotaur for you guys and the Unsinkable Brandenburg. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave below. Love to hear from you, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.